Hey, fourth graders, I'm glad to be with you again today. I'm going to do a little packet review with you for chapters 5 and 6 on the Tiger Rising. I think we already went over the before you read questions, but it says sticking up for someone else or standing up to a bully takes a lot of courage. Describe a time when you either witnessed such an event or were part of it yourself, and describe how you felt at that time. So, I mean, obviously, if you've answered that question, it's no fun to be on the bad end of the bullying. And maybe you were the bully at one point in time. We've all done things that we're not proud of. So I hope you describe how you felt during that event. What are some things that make kids different and stand out? And how can this sometimes be a good thing? Just because everybody is different. Just because you stand out, you might have something different about you. It might be a good thing. You might set an example, or you might help someone else. The next thing you're going to see is close call, and you have a word bank. It says complete the following exercise, filling in the correct words from the word box. This should be really simple. You can look back at the text. If you got it printed out, you can look back through there. But if you listened closely, this should be just like an easy fill in the blank. And you have word choices up there. So I'm going to let you do that on your own. If you'll go to the back of that, it says language activities. Choose 10 words from these chapters with 2 or more syllables. Indicate the syllables by drawing a line between each one. Now, I'm going to post a video from Go Noodle about syllables if you need to remember about what syllables are. And I don't really care what chapter you get these from. You can get them from any of the chapters that we've read so far, but it has to be a 2-syllable word. It says an example would be tiger. And they have the T-I with a dash and then G-E-R to show where that is divided. You can always do the hand under the mouth trick, tiger. Every time your chin drops, that's a syllable, and you should be able to do that. The next thing is personification. We talked about personification, I think, several times throughout the year. Personification is when you give an object a person's quality or a human's quality. And the question is from chapter 5, what object is personified in this sentence, and what human action is it accomplishing? Now, it says, he concentrated on keeping his heart from singing out loud with joy. So, what object is being personified? That would be his heart. And what action, human action, would be singing. A heart cannot sing. And then the next thing is think of an interesting object and create a sentence on your own. So I have some examples. My alarm clock. The alarm clock yelled at me to get out of the bed. An alarm clock's an object. It can't yell. So that would be that one. Or this is a good one. The chocolate cake was calling my name from the refrigerator. Chocolate cake can't call names out and make you come and eat it, but so that would be personification. So I want you to practice maybe 2 or 3 of those there. The next thing is an extension activity, and you can do this activity if you'd like. I'm also going to frescoes is one of your vocabulary words. You'll have a vocabulary lesson this week, and I'm going to attach a video about the Sistine Chapel because that's going to become important in our book because we have a character named Sistine. And I'm going to post a video about frescoes, so that'll help you on that one a little bit. We're going to move on to chapters 7 and 8. What extraordinary events had Rob already experienced in these first 6 chapters? Now, Rob has experienced a lot. He has experienced the death of his mom, moving to a new school. He's experienced being bullied at school and on the bus. He's met a new girl, which I'm sure he might get teased about. You know, boy and girl, it might be a boyfriend-girlfriend teasing thing. But it's really just a great friendship. So he's met Sistine, which is going to be important. He's been sent home from school because his principal thinks he is contagious and might give his rash to someone. So it just tells you to describe 3 events, and I've listed a whole bunch. So you can pick your 3 events that you want to write down. Number 2, why do you think it was Rob's policy to not say things? Well, you know, when we let our feelings out, and there's a chance that we might get emotional, and we might cry, and we might get embarrassed in front of someone. So that could be, maybe he's scared he's going to get embarrassed, or maybe he's scared he's going to get made fun of if he lets his feelings out, so he wants to not say things in front of people. Number 3, Rob's dad tells him that they are staying in a motel only until they can get back on their feet. What does that expression mean? I mean, are they walking on their hands or their elbows? No. It's a figure of speech, figurative language. That really means like to get some money and get your own place, kind of get things going. Number 4, why do you think Rob's father decided to give him a few days off at school? Well, I think Rob's father was feeling sorry for Rob, and I think that Rob needed a break, or his father thought that he might need a little bit of break from school, so he just allowed him to write out that principal's note and see maybe if he could have a few days at home. Number 5, what do you think of the advice that Rob's dad gives him about fighting back against boys at school? Okay, that's on page 27, so I want to read that to you guys. It says, you got to fight them, them boys. I know you don't want to, but you got to fight them, else they won't ever leave you alone. What do you think about that advice? Do you think that's good advice? We've been taught lots of advice. We've talked about bullies throughout the year. Is that good advice or not? That's your opinion. Number 6, why do you think Rob was relieved when he couldn't go outside to see the tiger because it was raining too hard? Think about that. Why do you think he might be relieved? Do you think maybe he's wondering if it's actually real, or if he just kind of dreamed it up and made an imaginary friend? I don't know. Number 7, why do you think Rob ended up carving Sistine instead of a tiger? He sat down to carve a tiger and out popped Sistine out of his wood. Why do you think he drew her? In my opinion, I kind of think he drew her because I think that she made a lasting impression on him, and he was very impressed with how she handled herself. So that's our wrap-up for our review packet, chapters 1 through 8.